Do you hear that? That is my piece of crap Samsung refrigerator. I've already removed everything from inside. I'll show you what's going on here. So that when that buzzing first started, I contacted Samsung and they said, oh, it must be that the fridge is not level. So I got my level out and sure enough it's completely level. I could not make the sound go away. It was a vibration, that buzzing, hitting something fan sound, which is exactly what it turned out to be. I'm going to take off this panel and show you exactly what it is. There are only 4 screws that need to come out. Here, 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 and here. This is covered with a small plastic clip you got to take out. You don't immediately rip this thing off. You want to pull it off, but the problem is there's a fan right here and there's ice building up, and the ice is frozen in the back of this panel. So if you just pull this straight off, you're gonna tear the back of the fridge. So I'll show you a hair dryer. For a few minutes to break the ice free from the back of this piece of plastic. Next, you're going to want to take this piece off. It comes off as one single piece. And then you're going to want to take this off, which is going to take a little bit of work. I'm going to have to put the phone down for 1 second here. Okay, so I've broken it free. I'm going to take this panel off. And there's lots of wiring here. You got to be careful not to pull the wires. What you're going to want to do is go in and release these wires here. These are just simple clip release wires. You're just going to reach in and press the little clip. Press the little clip and they release really easily. So now you've got this panel off. And you can see what the problem is. So all this ice buildup is really caused partially by this little piece of crap design here. So this little metal piece here is supposed to get warmed up and keep the ice, and allow the condensation from the ice melting to drip down inside. But the design from the manufacturer was too short. It doesn't actually work. So what I end up having to do, and I'm serious, I do this like every 6 or 8 weeks, is take a hair dryer out and melt all of this frozen material. Because you can see where the sound is coming from. Sound is coming from this fan spinning around. You can see there's ice buildup in here. Spinning around and hitting that ice. And eventually, the ice will build up to the point where the fan can no longer turn and you'll burn out the fan motor. Okay, so it took about 5 minutes, not too bad. As you can see, I've melted the ice. A bunch of chunks just came out, and I would lift them by hand. What you don't want to do is pull anything and disrupt any of this, anything that's going on here. So you don't want to actually pull hard on the ice chunks. You're better off melting them. The water will drip down into here, which is fine. This just goes down to the evaporator pan, doing what it's supposed to be doing all along instead of freezing. You can see that this fridge was made in January of 2014. We've had it for about 5.5 years. It was about $3,000. We bought it because we thought it was stunningly beautiful. Did not realize that it's kind of a piece of crap. Let me show you why. So this is a freezer on the bottom style fridge with this really nice middle drawer that you can use flex for, you know, deli stuff and snacks, and put a pizza in here. It's pretty great. The freezer, obviously it's full. There's an LED light right under here, which is now no longer works. I have no idea why. It's not replaceable. It's not like it's a bulb. So it's an LED that 5.5 years later, I no longer have a light in the bottom of my fridge. If you are a Samsung fridge owner, you're probably already aware of this problem. It's kind of funny, they call it the Ice Master. Master is kind of an overstatement for what's going on here. If you remove the ice tray and look inside, there's a couple things going on. First of all, it's continually building up ice. But the second piece is the ice doesn't act up. If you can fit your hand up inside, you'll often find that there are chunks of ice that are stuck. And so what happens is this thing freezes up completely, and then it no longer makes ice. And you notice that when you have company over, you go to get an ice cube and it's just not working. So while I have this open, I'm going to defrost with the hairdryer again this buildup of ice. Now I strongly recommend using a nice absorbent towel because there's going to be a lot of water that pours out of here while we're doing this. So I've defrosted the freezer, the ice maker rather, and at that point, before you put this back together, you're going to want to press this little button here, a little soft button, which is the reset, because you've confused the computer with the changes in temperatures. Okay, so we're ready to put this back in place. And it's as simple as making sure that you put these connectors back in the right place. And they're pretty simple the way they line up. The white one goes on the bottom, the blue one goes on the top, right there. So as you can see, I've reconnected the wiring. That's going to allow the fan to spin free. There's no more ice built up here, so therefore we're not going to have that ridiculous grinding noise coming from our fridge. So it's pretty easy to replace. It just pops back in. You feed it in at the top, and then you just line up the holes. There's a screw there, a screw there, a screw at the bottom of the bracket, and a screw at the top of the bracket, and the little plastic cover clip. The inner parts of the fridge come out really easily. I give Samsung that. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. That's the ice maker resetting. Okay, I'll give you that. They make this really easily. It's probably because they knew you'd be taking it apart a lot. One of the reasons we bought the fridge was because we loved the flexibility of being able to move the shelves around, to be able to get different heights, to do what you needed to do to fit what you needed in the fridge. It was super easy. I'll tell you, that convenience is overshadowed by the poor mechanical performance of this fridge. So like I said, it's a beautiful fridge, and the reason we bought it was because we thought it was so attractive and it had the flexible functionality inside. Mechanically, we didn't realize what a problem this fridge would be. We've had a number of Samsung appliances. We've had problems with Samsung washers and dryers. We've had this problem with this fridge. We'll never buy another Samsung appliance. That said, we have 8 Samsung Wi-Fi TVs in this house because they work so well with the Spectrum app. So it allows us to have TV in places where there's no cable connection. So that's been great. But from an appliance standpoint, I would stay clear. There's a lot of videos out there about Samsung products. I mean, you'd think that Samsung would clue in at some point that they should do something about how they engineer, test, and validate their products. I didn't make this video out of spite. I made this to say thank you and out of respect for all those folks who have made videos that have helped me save time, energy, and money. If you're a Samsung owner who's struggling with this, I hope this was helpful. And like I said, I'll be doing this again in a couple of weeks.